Okay, hi everybody. Welcome again to Enjoy English School. I'm Bruce.
I'm Antony.
And we're continuing today with yesterday's lesson about the Burning Man Festival. We gave you a lot of information about this very strange but creative grouping of people who just want to get away from their usual world. For example, they don't use money for a week. They don't plug into their computers for a week. And you might wonder, well, what do? They have to be creative and survive in a desert, which is not the easiest place to do that. We'll give you a lot more information about this very creative kind of festival.
没错，我们今天要继续介绍昨天介绍过的火人祭。那最开始的时候，我们有提到说，是1986年的时候开始的嘛。然后两个年轻人在这个旧金山的海滩上面，夏季的时候，夏至6月21号的时候，有一个火人祭这样。后来演变到了2019年的时候呢，有78000人去，到哪里呢？不是在旧金山，而是在那个Black Rock Desert 就是在内华达州的一个地方，鸟不生蛋的地方。老师刚才也讲到说，在这边的话，你没有网络，不能用手机，以物易物的方式去生活着。那我们今天要继续介绍更多跟这个节庆有关的内容。
Burning Man, Turning Dreams into Reality. The last official Burning Man was held in 2019.In 2020, Burning Man was canceled due to COVID-19. However, lots of people still gathered at a San Francisco beach to celebrate Burning Man. In response, the mayor of the city closed the beach's parking lot. She said instead of celebrating, these people were putting people's lives at risk with the possibility of spreading the virus. In 2021, Burning Man was canceled again.However, a much smaller festival was held in the Black Rock Desert, and around 20,000 people joined. A lot of the older Burning Man participants said they preferred it this way because it made them think of the past parties where there weren't so many tourists. For 2022, Burning Man is officially back, and the theme is Waking Dreams.There is no doubt that this festival will be filled with people, art, music, and amazing displays that won't be seen anywhere else in the world. 2022's Burning Man will be bringing a lot of creative minds together again.
All right, first paragraph. The last official Burning Man.was held in 2019. So it started in 1986, and every year they had one, and they got bigger and bigger. And the last official one, this is one that was continued by the same people who started the first one, so we can call it official. That was just a few years ago.
Yeah, 所以这边的话呢，我们就可以知道说，他一路从1986年一直到最后一次的话，最后一次的官方的举办的这个是2019年哦，他是说 The last official Burning Man was held in 2019 or 2019 都可以哦。这 official 的话就是官方正式的这样的一个形容词。
In 2020, 1 year later, Burning Man was canceled due to COVID-19. They didn't want people to get sick. The disease was new. People didn't really understand it at that time, and they wanted to be safe.
所以到后来到了2020年的时候，因为疫情的关系呢，这个火人祭呢就被取消了。
However, lots of people from San Francisco still gathered at a San Francisco beach. Gather is to come together. Why did they gather on the beach of San Francisco?They wanted to celebrate Burning Man. Even though it was officially canceled, they started their own.
没错，所以说好，你不办，因为疫情不办，没关系，我们自己来。However, lots of people still gathered. 好，当时呢，有一群人还是聚集在这个旧金山他们这个海滩，然后想办法要去庆祝这个庆典，这个火人祭哦。
In response, as a result of this gathering of people when people were not supposed to gather, the mayor of the city, the political leader of San Francisco, closed the beach's parking lot so that people could not drive to this area and join these big crowds of people where COVID could spread easily among them.
好，所以这边的话就说了，因应这个情况 ，in response， 好，在这边的话，他提到说 the mayor 这个市长，你也可以说 in response to this， 好，所以为了因应这个情况呢，市长呢就下令 close the beach's parking lot， 就把你的这个干脆把你的停车场都通通封起来，你们都不要来，都没有机会，好，你没办法开车跑到这个地方来参加庆典。
She said, the mayor said, instead of celebrating, instead of gathering and okay, you think you're having a good time, but these people, the people who are gathered for this are putting people's lives at risk. Putting something at risk is to put something in danger, to make the situation difficult or actually dangerous. Why? With the possibility of spreading the virus. Again, the COVID virus. The more people who get together, the more people who can infect each other with the disease.
老师用到这个 infect 这个字的话，它的拼法是 infect， infect。有的时候你会说 people get infected with a certain kind of disease 也是可以的。那我们在这边的话，你会看到说，哇，不行啊，市长下令说要把这个停车场封掉，因为害怕大家群聚，他就说了 ，She said instead of celebrating， 与其说要去庆祝嘛，但是你会做到的事情是 ，These people were putting people's lives at risk。老师刚才特别解释了 ，put something at risk， 就是让这个东西暴露在危险之中，那就可能当人们群聚就会有感染病菌的这种风险，对不对 ？With the possibility of spreading the virus， 就有扩散好不断的传播病毒的这样子的危险性。
Okay, we've got quite a bit more to talk about, but let's take a short break first. Okay, now let's continue. In 2021, that's last year, Burning Man was canceled again. It was canceled because of COVID in 2020. In 2021, they continued to cancel it.
Yeah， 所以到后来呢，我们看第二段，他说到了2021年，也就是去年的时候呢，好，火人祭啊，再度又被取消了。
However, despite the official cancellation, a much smaller festival was held in the Black Rock Desert, and around 20,000 people joined. Well, that's not a small crowd at all, but there are people who will party no matter what the situation is.
Yeah， 所以这边的话告诉你说了，虽然2021年的官方的这个举办活动被 cancel 掉了，被取消了。However， 然而呢，话锋一转 ，a much smaller festival， 一个规模比较小的 festival was held in the Black Rock Desert。好，在黑岩沙漠这个地方，也就是我们刚刚之前讲到说，他们每次都会办的这个地方呢，有一个比较小型的这种庆典。And around 20,000 people， 哦，还是很多啊，2万人参加了。当然啦，跟78000人比起来的话是小了一点点，但是呢，还是有2万人去参与。他们才不管什么疫情呢，他们就是要来一起来嗨这个火人祭。
Also, this sentence tells us was held to hold a festival, to hold a party, to hold a dance, and so on. So hold can be used not just to hold a pen in your hand, it means to organize and put on.
没错，所以说今天用 hold 这个字的话，除了是握笔这个握之外，它也有举办的意思。那如果说今天是节庆当主词的话，常常会用被动的语态来表达这个概念。
Okay, so still 20,000 fans, F-A-N, people who are crazy about something, they got together, and a lot of the older Burning Man participants said, now here it doesn't necessarily mean they're 70, 80, 90 years old, but maybe they went to the first few Burning Man festivals in the 1980s or later in the 1990s. They had experience with this festival. they said they preferred it this way, being in the desert with a smaller group of people, because it made them think of the past parties where there weren't so many tourists. Once again, to represent not really this, but something similar to it or seems like it. We're not really talking about tourists here, people who travel from one place to another to enjoy something else. It really means there are people who came maybe to take pictures of other people, but they weren't participating in it. They were just viewing it, even though they were there. They were watching other people. They weren't part of it. They weren't participating in it.
没错，就是那种来凑热闹、打卡拍照、上车就走人的那种人。好，他现在就讲到说啦 ，a lot of older Burning Man participants 就是参与这个活动的人，就叫 participants。他们有一些年纪比较大的，老师刚刚特别讲到说，不是那种7、8、90岁的老人哦，他说可能是那些当初在1986年之后有参加过前几期的这个聚会的这些人呢，说，其实2万人这样子，没有到7万8千人。人数少一点其实比较好好 because it made them think of the past parties 好，他就会想到以前在过往的时候 where they weren't so many tourists 当时的时候还没有一大堆人来凑热闹拍照打卡朝圣，然后但是没有积极参与的。其实如果说今天来的人都是那种很认真的想要去创造秉持着这样的精神的话，他们会比较喜欢。可是到后来因为宣传出去的关系，就很多人都只是来凑热闹，并没有实际参与，他们比较不喜欢一大堆这种来凑热闹的人跑来朝圣。
Okay, we have but one more paragraph for you, but first we'll take a short break. Okay, let's continue and finish this second day of our 2-day presentation of Burning Man Festival. For 2022, this year, Burning Man is officially back. This year, they will have a theme. Now, a theme is sort of the point of something, the purpose of something. You may have, for example, a party and you have a theme of 1940s, 1950s. So people will try to find clothing from that period of time, and the girls will make up the way hairstyles.
That's right.
Just to go back, and that would be a theme. And so does the Burning Man Festival, waking dreams. Now, dreams are supposed to be when you're asleep. But what would it be like to living in a dream? It just makes us think of something very different and creative and maybe artistic as well.
哇，所以这句话我光看到，觉得感觉上就是很有意思，对不对？好，他就告诉你说，2022年也是今年呢。Burning Man is officially back. 好，终于回归啦！好开心啊！火人祭回来喽 ！And the theme， 这个 theme 就是主题的意思。我们之前像昨天的时候，我们就有提到说，那个每一年都有它各特定的主题嘛，对不对？在主题里头，老师刚才还举了一个例子，比方说如果说今天要办一个 party， 我们大家可能是1940年代、50年代的这种穿衣风格。就我所知，像70年代的话，就有很多那种穿那种窄窄的裤子，然后呢，就头发可能就有一些特殊这种发型等等。大家一来的时候，大家就哇，你也像是60、70年代走出来的人物，这就是主题的概念。而他们今年的主题呢，叫做 Waking Dreams， 醒着的梦，醒梦。那感觉上就是好像是在醒着的状态下做梦，那边是你有很多的创意可以用在自己身上，也许是用各种艺术作品，或是服装，或是任何这种说故事的方式来表达这个主题。
Okay, next sentence. Excuse me. There is no doubt that this festival will be filled with people, art, music, and amazing displays that won't be seen anywhere else in the world. That I'm sure of. There is no doubt that. I am sure that. I am certain that. There is no question that this year's festival will be filled. There'll be maybe 50,000, maybe 100,000 people will go because after 2 years of no festival, now we're back.
Yeah.
And that we're ready to party. So there'll be a lot of people. Of course, there will be art. Now, art is not only a picture on a wall in a museum. You dress yourself, that's a kind of art. If you use makeup, that can be an art. The clothing or jewelry that you design and make by yourself, that is art. Music, of course. All these festivals have some kind of music. There will be groups of people who make their own music. They play their own instruments. And it's a large area. So over here, there's someone playing country music. And there's rock and roll over here. And maybe classical music over there. So lots of music and different kinds of music. And amazing displays. A display is something to show. And I'm not quite sure what they mean here, but it could be like budai shi. It could be puppets. It could be anything that will entertain people. So this kind of gathering, this kind of grouping of these very creative people, you won't see anything else like them, like that occasion, the Burning Man Festival. Nowhere else in the world will people be doing that.
没有错，所以在这里的话就很清楚的告诉你几个重点哦。第一个是，当你学到 "There's no doubt that"，that means I'm sure that， 好，就是指毫无疑问的，后面这件事就是这样。然后提到说，里面你会看到许多的人。老师刚刚提到说，因为连续2年没有举办了嘛，2020跟2021，对不对？所以这次的话，可能一旦正式举办了，因为有更多人潮会想涌进来。然后老师刚刚提到不同的这种 art 艺术，不见只是在那个美术馆、博物馆里面所看到的绘画，它可以是任何形式的艺术。好，可能不管是表演艺术啦，或者是你的服装啦，好，或者是你的化妆啊等等，都可能是。那除了这个之外，老师提到的这个 music， 也许呢，你在这边的是乡村音乐，到那边的话是这个 rock and roll， 然后到旁边还有古典音乐，各式各样的人、音乐，还有表演展示，各方面你在其他地方都不会看到。
All right, we finished with this idea. 2022's Burning Man will be bringing a lot of creative minds together again, because this is not the first time at all. Remember, 1986 to 2019, some 30 years. And it stopped for a couple of years, but now it's like taking a break and now you're ready to go again. So there will be many creative minds. Creative, you could also say artistic. People who think different ideas and want to try them out, no problem there. Being creative can be fun in life. And this will be another chance for that kind of thing to happen again. It will be in the Black Rock Desert because they can't bother anybody there. There's nobody there to bother.
没有错，所以在这里的话，它就有一个很好的机会，在2022年这样子的一个火人季呢，能够让许多充满这种创造力的人再次的齐聚一堂，展现他们的创意。
Okay, hope you've enjoyed this. I don't know, maybe I would eventually, after I retire, maybe I would go to Nevada to participate in, not to be a tourist, but to join in the fun and the partying. If you've got the time and the money and the thirst for creativity, give it a try. It's safe, it's crazy, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we're going to take a very short break, and then we're going to review some of the important words from today's lesson. Okay, this is it for the second day of our 2-day lesson. We'll review vocabulary of today's text. The first, official, the adjective, officially, the adverb. This is according to law or according to custom.
呀，所以在这里的话，它的翻译方式可能官方的或是正式的，都可以用来表达这样的概念。
Number 2, if you cancel something, you aren't going to do it. Maybe you can't or you don't want to, but you won't be able to do it.
Yeah, cancel 就是取消的意思哦。
Number 3, gather, get together.
Gather 就是 get together， 大家聚集在一起。
Number 4, put someone or something at risk is to make a situation dangerous.
就是让事情变得很危险，让什么事情或是人处在一个风险之中。
Number 5, prefer is to rather do something than something else.
Prefer 就是比较偏好、比较喜欢，宁愿做这个而不要那个。
Number 6, tourist, the actual meaning is someone who travels to another place for fun, but here in our lesson it means someone who just watches but does not participate in something.
它本来的意思呢是观光客，但是在我们这个文章的意思呢是指那种只来看看凑热闹却不想实际参与的这些人。
Number 7, there is no doubt that, I am sure that, I am certain that.
There is no doubt that 就是相信绝对是怎样的，我很确定某件事情。
Number 8, display is often used as a verb, but it can also be used as a noun. When it is, it means a show.
A show， 或者是这边讲的 display， 就是指展示出来的这个作品，或者是展览，或者是秀出来的展示物，都可以用这个词来表达。
All right, that's it for our second day of our 2-day lesson. Hope you had a good time with us. We certainly did. And we look forward to being with you again next month. Until then, bye-bye.